So I'm pretty much done with putting it together as far as all of the screws needed. I hope I don't make anybody angry by not showing the actual screwing of the screws. I just feel like I've seen enough of that on a lot of videos, and if you really want to see how the screws go in, you could look elsewhere. Here's a demonstration of how that would happen. You put the screw where it's supposed to go, and then you tighten it down. So hopefully everyone can figure that out. Now I can actually start plugging things in, getting things aligned, and make sure everything looks good before I can actually start printing. So what I'll do is I'll plug in all the different connectors that I can see. I did go through the manual. You can see it here. So I'm not going in blind. Like I said in a previous video, I really like the manual. It helps you at least double check your work to make sure that you're doing things properly. One thing I did notice is when you're installing the gantry, they have you put the x-axis in a certain location within the gantry. And so it says twist the coupling to raise the x-axis to the position as picture shown. So they want you to basically have it in the center. And I kind of feel like that has to do with the distance between them, so that at the top maybe it's a little closer, and at the bottom you have to kind of spread it apart. That's just my theory. I don't know if that's true. But let's get started with the connectors. I'm really excited to start printing, but I really also want to make sure that I get everything sort of recorded and showing everyone where all the plugs go, in case there's any concern. This tape really holds it in place. And I'm going to save the tape to sort of assist with holding the cables out of the way of the print bed. I don't want to accidentally pinch the cables. Come on, let go. I promise you'll go back on. So here's the end stop for the Z-axis, or the X-axis. The X-axis. You can see that it is an optical, which I've heard good and bad things about. We'll see how that goes. I know that they did include an extra one, so that might be an indication of how well this first one might work, but we'll see. They are keyed connectors, so you can only put them in one way. You can see that the pins sort of align on one side of the connector, and then the holes on the other side are also on one side. So even though I don't want to show you how to screw things in, I'll tell you how to plug them in. So you just plug it in like that, and then it's, for the most part, pretty neat configuration for the cable management. I'm going to go ahead and just put that tape back down there so that I know that cable is always going to come out rather than work its way back in. So that one's done. The next one over here in the front is the display connector. Again, they're keyed, so they only go in one way. And I'm gonna save the tape for making sure that the cable stays out of the way of the bed. I already put the handle on here, centered it as best I can. Sorry you didn't get to see that. You can do a Google search for someone else that does it. But you can see it's a little bit easier to lift it and turn it. It's a lot sturdier. You don't have to worry about grabbing the actual bar across the top, which, it didn't hurt anything, but still. And so the connector's down here. You can see that it only goes one way. In case there's any doubt, it's a tight squeeze underneath this bed to get things going the way you want it to. We'll grab that, make sure I'm plugging it in so the pins look like they go towards the front. Again, I won't show you that I screw the screws in, but I'll definitely make sure to get my food grabbers in the way while I'm trying to show you how to plug stuff in. There we go. Lined up, make sure it pushes all the way in. You can see there. And then turn it a little bit. You can see how that cable is really close to that that bed. So I'm just gonna fold it down, make sure I don't crimp any wires too much. And then with my super awesome camera holding skills, I'm gonna tape that cable down so that it doesn't get in the way of the bed. Oh yeah, that's totally AAA video material right there. Watch out, Hollywood, here I come. All right. Yeah, that'll work until I do it again off camera. That's the best tape job ever. Not. All right, so the next one we have is, move that slowly out of the way. We have the first Z-axis, which is right here. Go ahead and grab that tape. Go right there. And then this one looks like it won't need tape because I can actually push it back down into the box. So it actually has a little bit of play. So I'll pull it out, make sure I can plug it in properly. And then I can actually just kind of gently work it back into the hole down there. So I don't even need any tape for that. So you, my friend, can go away. Go away. Oh, there's nothing better than tape sticking to itself. Get off. There we go. Okay, so then we have the Z-axis on the other side. So we go ahead and take this, remove the tape that looks like I won't need as well. Looks like I can feed it back into the box on the back. And the connector's actually accidentally stopped my video, so plug that in. Push the unneeded cabling in as far as I can. I may not actually be able to push it in. That's okay. I can use a piece of tape. I love that clip where it says Creality, but I love my cabling more so it doesn't get destroyed. So I'll go ahead and tape that down right there. Again, aesthetics I don't really care about as far as making sure that my printer continues to work over a period of time. So we'll keep that tape down there. That looks like it's going to stay out of the way. Next we have this nice big cable that wraps around to the right. It's underneath the leg of the printer. There we go. Okay, so this ribbon cable has two connectors. One right there, and then where is it? One on the end. So I'm going to connect the interim connector first. And that looks like it connects here on this little board. And it's keyed, so you can see, I hope, at the top there's a little space. And then on the connector, there's a little sort of bump out that fits into that keyhole. So then we plug it in, just like that. This pretty much just stays off to the side because that's the way that the clip sort of routes it, is it makes it stick out. I can see cable chains coming any week now for those. And then for the print head unified connector, you can see that they included some clips versus zip ties, and I'm wondering if people complain about zip ties. But you definitely want to make sure that this does not get anywhere near the nozzle. Any moving parts, you have the V-rollers. You definitely want to make sure you don't get the cable stuck in there somehow. So I'm going to open these locks first. Again, it's keyed, so you can see towards the front there's a gap, which corresponds with the sort of part of the connector that sticks out. So I'm going to plug that in to start, just to get it started, and then instead of just pushing down on it where the whole x-axis moves, I'm actually gonna grab the bottom of the print head and use my thumb to push it in so that the x-axis doesn't move. And then there you go, it's pushed in. And then now we just need to sort of make sure it stays in place. So we'll run these as they're intended for now. Looks like they want us to sort of wrap it around the filament tube. And I like that they included these, but these things are not very tight as far as keeping the movement to a minimum. You can see it just sort of wraps around all loose-like. But we'll see how it works. Again, this is the first time using it and putting it together, so trial and error. Here's the second clip, which I'll put about halfway around the tube. Yeah, I can see some zip ties coming soon. And then we'll move that a little bit like right there. And then this one down here. I'm sure you guys love my wall. You've been seeing a lot of it. We'll put this one right right there. So I clipped it on right there. And a little twisting motion gets it all locked in place. And there you go. And I think this is sort of the intended way that they wanted it to go. So you have it split where it connects to here on the gantry. And then it comes up around underneath the handle for the extruder. Clip it first here, and then about halfway, clip it again, and then I push this clip as far down as I can to keep it in place there. So, like I said, I see some zip ties coming soon. But it looks like everything is plugged in besides the power. Let me go ahead and do the ever so satisfactory removal of the plastic. Oh, yes, look at that. It's so nice and sticky. I don't know, it's not like bubble wrap, but it's still satisfying. There we go. Magically disappears off camera. So then we can actually feel the bed. You can feel the dimples that it makes. I forget the technical term for this type of bed. It's all locked in place. We got it underneath the clips here in the back. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it around. Oh, it is quite heavy. Or I'm just weak, probably weak. And then the LCD display. Oh. Revel in its ability to perform functions with the touch of a fingertip. No knobs whatsoever, strictly touchscreen. Can't wait to see the failure rate on these. Hopefully it's very low. And then at this point, we are ready to plug it in, power it up, go over the screen, the details of the program, features. I know that's been done before, but I'd like to go over it again. I found a use for this random piece of tape. I'm gonna go ahead and put that here right now. There. What's that Disney movie say? Oh no, was it Disney or was it Pixar? See a need, fill a need. All right, so let's get this plugged in, some filament loaded, and we will calibrate and start printing. See you in the next video.